I'm Rena Wilcoxon from Embroidery Garden. We've got a brand new grand dog in the family and her name is Lulu. I embroidered her name on this dog leash and I'm going to show you today how to put the same design on this matching collar. I bought the collar and the leash from Target in the pet department and they're made out of nylon and they're about 1 inch wide. So let's get started. Let me tell you a little bit about the design I used. I used 2 paw prints. The paw prints are the mini paw print design from stitchintimedesigns.com, and that's Rhonda's website. They were about 1 inch high. Now my collar is about 1 inch wide, so I took the paw print into my software, PE Design, and I reduced it to be about 3/4 of an inch high. The name Lulu is a true type font that I converted to stitches using PE Design also. I put the name and 2 paw prints on either side of it. And I always like to print out a template of my design so I know exactly where it's going to go. I placed it on the leash to figure out where I wanted it because I certainly didn't want to get it up into the handle. I wanted it near the handle but not in it. So I placed my template on the leash where I wanted it and I marked the center of it. I'm going to be stitching the design using my Brother Dream machine. The Dream machine has the Innovi technology built into it, and it uses the Snowman positioning stickers. And this is one of the little snowman stickers. After I found the center of my design and where I wanted it to be, and marked the center, then I take the little placement sticker, the snowman, and I put it exactly where the center is, lining up the vertical and horizontal marks. I hooped the leash, and I didn't even hoop it straight, and I was able to embroider the name on it. So let's get started with the collar. Okay, I'm going to put the same exact design on the collar. When the dog is wearing the collar, it's going to be like this, and I want the name and the paw prints to go right around here. So I fold it in half. Here's the center. I'm going to take my little snowman positioning mark and I'm going to place it right at that center. Now the sticker happens to be 1 inch wide and so is my collar. So I'm going to get it lined up here exactly where I want it and press the sticker in place. Now I'm not going to worry about this collar too much, about the back side of it, because it has another piece of strap that's basically going to be covering the back side. So I'm going to bring the design up and I'm going to show you how I hoop this and we're going to get started. Okay, I've gone ahead and I moved the camera up a little bit closer so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. I have the design saved on a USB stick and put it into my machine. I'm going to go ahead and hit USB. Here's the design I'm going to use. Hit set, then embroidery, and the design will be ready to stitch. Now it's time to hoop the collar. I'm using a 4x4 hoop, a piece of cutaway stabilizer, and I'm going to place the collar in the hoop. I did have to loosen the hoop up as much as I could, and I'm going to take the inner ring and put it in. It's a little bit tricky to get it all together, but once you get it, it will be fine. Push the inner ring down, making sure that it is nice and tight. I'm going to tighten up the hoop as much as I can. Make sure that the inner ring is sitting down and the bottom ring well. And again, tighten it up as much as I can. Okay, and it looks pretty good. It's not straight. It's not supposed to be. That's what the snowman's for. So I'm going to go ahead and put the hoop on the machine. Make sure the other part of the collar is out of the way. Now I'm going to hit edit. And you can see the snowman sticker. Go ahead and hit that. It's going to ask if it's okay to revert to the original position and or angle. Say okay. Now I'm going to hit scan, and it tells me that the embroidery arm is going to move. That's okay. So what it's doing now is it's scanning the hoop and it's trying to find the snowman sticker. And it's found it. And it says remove the embroidery positioning mark. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my little sticker off. I'm trying not to move my collar any. And hit OK. Now I'm ready to stitch. I'm going to go ahead and lower the foot, hit the start button, and let the design stitch onto the collar. Now while it's stitching, I'm going to tell you about a pair of jeans that I recently embellished using the same technique. The designs I use for this are from the wrapped in embroidery, machine embroidered wraps and cozy cover-ups by Joanne Banco. It's a book that is full of great ideas for stitching onto pashima scarves. The CD in the back of the book has a ton of cute little motifs on it, and I decided to use these motifs to stitch on the up and down the length of my jeans. So I picked the two motifs that I wanted, and the two that I used were this one and this one. So I printed out a template, and the length of my jeans, it was best for me to use the 7x12 hoop and the 5x7 hoop. I spaced the designs out in my software so that they were about a 1/4 inch apart. So each of the motifs are a 1/4 inch apart from the other one. I used my template, and I knew that at the bottom of my jeans, I wanted the design to start about a 1/2 inch from the bottom, from the hem. So I placed it where I wanted it to go, and I lined up the vertical, the center, with the seam of the pants. Found the center, marked it, and that's where I put my snowman positioning mark, the same way that I put it on the collar. I went ahead, I hooped it. These are stretch jeans, so I ironed a piece of cutaway onto a strip of it, about a 3-inch strip on the inside seam of the leg. I did have to remove the inside seam and lay it out flat to stitch it. So this, I think, let's see, this was a 12-inch design right here. After I got done stitching, I took it out of the hoop. I took my template again. I had to measure up from the end of the first motif a 1/4 inch. Got this in place, marked the center again, lined it up with the seam, marked the center again, used the snowman positioning mark, and stitched out another 12-inch motif. Then I tried the jeans on, and to me, they did not come up high enough. So I went into my software and I got one of each of the motifs. Again, I found the 1/4 inch from the end of the last design, lined it up, used the snowman again to stitch the remainder. So then I got the whole leg stitched. I did the same thing on the other side, and I think it turned out really cute. And it was very easy to restitch the inside seam. I serged the edges on the inside so that the pants are just how they were before I took the seam out. Now when I took the seam out, I went from the bottom up to the top to about 1 inch within the crotch. I didn't take out the whole crotch area. And it worked out well for me to use the 5x7 hoop when I got up here and just did these two motifs, because you start running into the pocket and you start running into the crotch. So the 5x7 hoop fit in there very well for me. So it's just a really easy way to embellish your jeans using the snowman marker. The book, Joanne Banco's book, you can order it from Designs and Machine Embroidery from their website, or I think you can also get it from Amazon. But you can put anything on your jeans that you want. You can see the design stitching. It's already stitched one of the paw prints. It is stitching the name Lulu out now, and it has another paw print to go. While the design is finishing up, I'm going to go back to the collar again. I know you all want to see the back side of it. For the collar, for the leash, since the leash is only one layer, I was more concerned about the back side. On this leash, I happen to use 2 pieces of water-soluble stabilizer. Now I use the fabric-like type of water-soluble stabilizer because I didn't want cutaway on the back side of this. So I'm going to show you the back side, and it looks pretty good. I did use matching bobbin thread. I used black bobbin thread, and I can see in the camera that it looks like it's the front side. But the water solubles, I mean, it rinsed right off. So I'm pretty happy with, you know, how the back side looks. So that's why I used water soluble on this. Now the design that I'm using has under 3,300 stitches, so it's not a large stitch count. So using the water soluble on that was okay. So it's done stitching. So I'm going to take the hoop off the machine. I'm going to take it out of the hoop here, and here is the finished collar. So you can see how cute it turned out. I am going to have to clean up the back side, and all I'm going to do is trim close to the cutaway all the way around, because like I said, the other side of the collar is going to cover it. So I'm just going to make it as neat looking as I can on the back side, and I think Lulu is going to love it. Thanks.